Some NBA updates, including trade and injuries, the continuous Big Apple struggle, as well as the NBA teams with the big letdowns starting now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, welcome to Debates Among Friends. This is live on Facebook, and this is the 39th edition of the Sports Podcast. We're happy you decided to join us this week. I am the Professor John Gotti, and always clashing with style, it's the Doctor. How you doing tonight, Doctor?
I'm doing fantastic, sir, and I feel awesome.
Oh boy, I kind of feel like we know what the theme's going to be, so let's just jump straight into it, sir. But before that, we do have a shout out to make. You know, we do tell us a little shout out sometimes.
So my man Max, aka 4 Hours, for letting us be on the wrestling podcast. We did post the information to not only his show, but his social media platforms. What a great show. Myself, Professor John Gotti, got an opportunity to do some cross promotion, and
With myself, it was highly engaging.
it
Dare
really
I
was.
say controversial, and definitely some cash. Do it again. Hopefully, we get an invite. Want to end up being like Senior October and being barred from buildings.
Not like Senior October. Oh no, not October-ish.
I mean,
But
remember last time we had Senior October here it was because my arm. People was kind of mad at me.
mm, mm, mm. How terrible is that?
But
No,
it was a great time. You know, people there, everyone there, just embraced us completely. And, we had debates among friends. Just loved that.
yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I thought we had a good time. It was fun. A lot of controversy, as you said, a lot of different perspectives because obviously they have more people on their show as far as people actually hosting it. Outside of 4 Hours, they have three. So I mean, it was definitely a different vibe, but I really did enjoy it. I did enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And of course, we're going to go ahead and cover some of the same things that we did talk about, but of course, in our own debate amongst friends way. um, but I do appreciate that opportunity. I thought it was a great one, and I want more in the future. So, one thing we're going to definitely look at this particular night, of course, the Elimination Chamber, where we had a lot of interesting matches, interesting spots. Obviously, we saw the grades. We got grades from the wrestling podcast with 4 Eyes, as well as the Bleacher Report. Grades outside of like the handicap match and maybe a few other matches, but for the most part, I gave it a B. I still stand by that B. The spots were pretty good. The actual matches were okay. I don't know necessarily about the lineups, but for the most part, the matches were pretty good. Would you say that's so?
I actually agree with you. I also gave it a B. I said it was a pretty good, solid B. I felt anyone who wants to give it a higher grade, like a B plus or A minus or even an A plus, I felt it was more because of how the main event ended versus the
Right.
actual show in general.
Agree.
I mean, that's just me, and that's just the way I take it. I would rather see a great show throughout, like a takeover show. It's great throughout. There's not really any bathroom breaks match because you never know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Um, but I mean, it was the ending that we wanted. It was the ending that we needed. But I mean, other than the Luke Harper Randy Orton match, which I said was dragging at times. It was really just another episode of SmackDown.
Right, right. And I rarely watch SmackDown. I guess SmackDown, like the thing that I don't like about Raw and SmackDown is that they do a lot of things that kind of don't make sense. For example, um, somebody loses. Let's just take, for example, the creation of SmackDown. Hey, Shane McMahon, you'll get SmackDown if you go out there and beat The Undertaker. Remember that?
Yeah.
He loses to The Undertaker. He gets SmackDown anyway. you know?
I mean, but let's be real though. I mean, other than the main event, was there really a match that like blew you away? I know we talked highly of Luke Harper, but I mean, I'll go to that in a second. But like, was there
Sure.
really a match that like really stuck out to you? I know you mentioned it on Monday, but the people here at Debates Among Friends, they're screaming in my ear. You know they do. They
Right.
want to know, Doctor, what was that match that just enthralled?
Well, there wasn't necessarily a match. I think everybody continues to talk about the feelings. People got the feels on this particular show, and I think that's
I know you're talking about. That's hilarious, actually.
but I think that's ultimately what it was. I think we got a lot of feelings. Like for me, it wasn't the obvious. It wasn't the Bray Wyatt. It wasn't the Naomi. It was good to see the hype bro himself get out there and wrestle in singles competition. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it was just okay," but it was good to see him without Zack Ryder. Like I really thought it was something. Like I didn't know. I don't know about that finishing move, but I mean, it was good to see Mojo Rawley out there wrestling by himself. You know, that I would have skipped. Two things I would have skipped.
All right.
Number one, James Ellsworth and Carmella
Oh gosh.
continuously. I don't know what happened to them, and that's where I was saying on Monday is between that and Randy Orton doing the SmackDown Shut Your Mouth celebrations on the top rope to get the 5 finishers. I felt like it was just little spots to drag time out. Like somebody botched somewhere with the time, and
Yep.
then hey, be really cocky and celebrate over. Hey, let's go back to James Ellsworth and Carmella, who nobody really cares about. So I think seeing Mojo Rawley compete, I was pretty happy with that. I would say the match that I hated the most, of course, was the handicap match. In fact, I think I said I was gonna go refill the 5 gallon jug of water that I have at that time, as well as skip the whole idea of watching that tag team match
Yeah, absolutely.
because I felt like it was a waste of time, which I was pretty happy about.
I mean, the tag team match. I mean, we have to mention it. Now we have to talk about it.
Well, you saw the whole thing.
Oh, I wish I didn't. To coin a phrase for a great man, it was probably the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. That bad. It was just there. Like nothing
Well,
significant. Once it goes back to my point of it was just a regular SmackDown show. Not too many highs, but a
mhm.
lot of lows.
No, absolutely.
Storyline wise, yeah, it's pretty intriguing,
Hmm.
but the stories didn't equate to stellar performances in the ring.
It's so funny you said stellar. It sounded almost like Stella.
You mean like our unofficial official sponsor for tonight?
Absolutely. It's so funny you said Stella because I immediately thought of Stella as you sip your.
I'm sorry,
Oh
I
no!
don't have it right now. I didn't open it
It's
up
a,
for.
it's
Oh
a,
my goodness.
hey.
Chris, I know you do audio, Chris. I'm gonna need for you to grab me a Stella because the doctor has decreed it and he wrote a prescription for it, so I need a Stella. Oh man.
Oh, no,
Unfortunately,
but
now we have to talk about probably the worst match of the night, which is the cat match.
I hated it. I mean, a lot of people again the feels.
It was
of
vomit-inducing.
the feels of Dolph Ziggler going back to being heel. Sure, we love it, but did we really need a handicap match to show that?
I didn't need any of those three on the show. Here's my issue with it. We're both 80s kids. We grew up in the 90s, so we watch.
Right.
I mentioned this on Monday. Apollo Crews is Tito Santana. He always sticks his nose where it never belongs, and often gets his behind whooped because of it. Shout out to Tito though, because he's a Hall of Famer, and I like it.
Of course.
But,
I mean,
and I know we have to keep on going. But
do you think Apollo Crews is going to be a Hall of Famer though?
Absolutely. What? He's so.
He had.
Here's the culmination of every match other than the main event, and in some part the main event. The fact that Apollo Crews was still smiling,
right,
while trying to sell a ankle injury.
Oh God.
Twing!
Let me tell you though, bro. This is what I'll tell you.
Your boy.
This is what I'll tell you, because we always talk about, obviously, your friend Roman Reigns.
Oh my.
And
goodness.
You always say Vince McMahon feels as though he has the look.
For those that don't know, it's a certain gif out the sphere of Roman Reigns doing his little thing before he does his stupid Superman punch, and shows Vince McMahon basically having a
losing. I think it's the video from when Trish Stratus was stripping, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was Stacy.
Stacy.
It was Stacy because she got legs.
Yes, I remember that.
But
I remember that.
Let's to add it
there. But I mean, I just wanted to just mention that because I know what is it that even Titus O'Neil, outside of him not having the moves, obviously they tried him go heel and face. I mean, what is it that's going to take for these guys? Let them get over.
Well, it goes to what we talked about episodes ago. You can always check the tapes on YouTube, actually, ladies and gentlemen. But one of the things that we mentioned is you cut someone's momentum too soon, it's hard to recover it.
Right.
Like, it's to a point to where a lot of those people, like a Titus, a Bo Dallas, which we have to talk about,
Oh, Bo Dallas, yeah.
Should
he got beat by Kofi Kingston really quickly, too.
But, like, exactly, like, should be getting these big pushes, especially with the fact that, with the brand split, but they're stuck doing the same thing because their push got destroyed.
Now, how would you feel? And then we're going to move on because I know we got other things to talk about. How would you feel?
Well, basically, this is what the next one is, so.
but true. Okay, I mean, same things, or, listen, things change, but some things remain the same, right? How would you feel if Bo Dallas joined the Wyatt family?
I think that would be good, but it goes back down to, I mean, it's great that it happened, but then we kind of was hoping that would happen a long time ago, sort of thing. Like a lot of the things that may actually happen with the upcoming months are most likely stuff that, not only you and I talk about, but WCPW talk about, What Culture Pro Wrestling. Shout out to them. No DQ, Solid Monster, Going in Raw podcast, like all these people who have access to like dirt sheets and whatnot. We all talk about the same things. Well, this would be great for the business. This would be, the best move for them to make to excel this person, to superstar status. But they don't pull the trigger, and then they wait a year, 2 years, 4 years too late. And then when they actually do it, it's like, well, I mean, it's over. Like, it's not like, yeah, we're happy for this one time, but then next week the fans out there are going to sit there and crap on it.
And I hate it because it's like, I know that there's so many talented players, so many talented mid-carders, and if you were to, I feel like we need to go back to really what we alluded to, almost like an Attitude Era where there were so many different factions. And it gave people a purpose.
We only have one legit faction out there now.
Right. Remember, we had like 5 factions: the Boricuas, the Nation,
the Nation,
yeah, like
Apocalypse, yeah, blah blah blah.
But you think about it, also, D'Lo Brown European title.
He
X-Pac,
he
light
excelled that
heavyweight
title
title.
so much.
Exactly, and we talk about that all the
Like,
time.
and the fact that it's Black History Month and we can go slightly racial
Sure,
about that, but like
sure.
he excelled that title at that time.
And that's why it's so stupid to go out and recruit other wrestlers for the European title when they could have just reintroduced it to the roster and gave some of these guys an opportunity rather than bringing in 10 to 15 other wrestlers or whatever amount they brought in.
Well, and then it goes back down to what the subject is about. The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's great
It's so
that they're trying to
dumb.
bring in some more talent and try to go more international because, granted, they really haven't done that. And you know what, Doctor? WWE doesn't have a great track history of treating, international superstars the right way.
Because it's stupid. Let's think about it
But
here.
but where it
Wait,
stays the same is what's gonna happen afterwards. Yeah, now we got a UK champion. What is he gonna be fighting on Raw? He gonna be on SmackDown?
right.
Is he gonna be fighting overseas? Like,
On Monday, you saw how there was only one advocate for 205 Live.
oh my.
But let me tell you though, think back. Taka Michinoku came into the WWE, right?
Well, let's not even talk about Taka. Like, let's go even backwards. Bull
Okay.
Nakano.
Well,
Yeah.
only reason I was gonna say Taka is because Taka was really the whole reason why they made the light heavyweight title. Like you think about it, like
Well, I
that was
mean
it.
that
People like him.
because though that because of
But they brought in,
WCW. Yeah.
but they brought in Taka to compete.
They brought
He
in
won it,
Taka to be the linchpin of that division, but there was no competition for it.
right? So now you go out, you bring in 8 people, but instead of introducing them and letting them job like everybody else, you go out there and do this big spectacle and say, "Hey, we got these new guys, these cruiserweights, and then you got these European guys." Where when the title was at its best, as you mentioned it, D'Lo Brown, an African American male, held it and took the belt and title to the next level, sir.
Yep.
It just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. But
I mean, I wish I could try to explain it. There's really no way, The same people, we literally had a long stretch of the same people main eventing Raw.
mhm,
The same people competing against each other. The same 4 people, basically, in different combinations. Roman,
right,
Seth, before he got injured,
mhm,
KO, and Jericho.
right.
Seth, Jericho, KO, Roman. Roman, Jericho, Seth, KO.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of Roman,
Oh boy.
something crossed my mind in the car the other day. I was driving either to or from work, and I said to myself, Roman's not the best on the microphone, right?
He's not the best on the microphone. He's not the best in the ring. All he has
What
is a
if
look.
what if we did, and I know this falls right into this category, and that's the only reason I'm bringing it up because the more things change, the more they would stay the same.
Hilarious.
Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar, they split again.
No. I'm stopping you
And,
right now.
and Paul Heyman
Just
says,
no.
my client,
No.
Roman Reigns,
No. And
will be
here's
the new
why. But
face of
here's
fear. My
okay, stop it.
client
Stop it.
will
Stop
win
it.
the WWE title.
Chris,
My
Chris, you're about to get
client,
ready to mute the doctor right
Roman
now.
Reigns, is going to be the greatest superstar in the WWE.
Oh my god, Chris did it! He did it! Oh my goodness, I was joking! Oh no!
Yeah, the worst. But my client. But I mean, I know you were trying to stop me, but come
Well,
on.
here's
He needs
why.
something. He
Here's
needs.
why it won't work.
Mhm.
People are gonna crap on it even more because it's flaws that was already well known. They tried to ignore it, and now they're trying to rectify it by putting the best person who's on the mic in the wrestling business as his advocate. It just goes, well, yeah, Paul did a great job with Brock because Brock is a general, badass. And
And
he
the only
doesn't
reason I
really
say
need to
that is
talk.
because he could
Well, that
potentially
and plus,
retire.
he has a higher voice than me, but that's without saying.
He could potentially retire because he just retired from MMA. So, I mean, he's 39 years old. I mean, he doesn't have, all the years left in the world, even as a
I
part
think you're
timer.
gonna say he doesn't have it.
He's eventually all those German suplexes. That's all I'm gonna really say about that.
Oh
Plus,
goodness.
I mean, I'm sure he wants to spend time with Sable and have a good time. So, I mean, you
Uh,
gotta call it quits eventually.
hey, I mean, that's why I'm still worried about freaking Undertaker facing Roman Reigns at Mania because once again, we're gonna see someone die in the ring, and it's gonna happen. It's I don't want it to happen, but it's gonna happen.
I mean, who would it happen more or faster to? Would it be? Would you expect it to be Undertaker or Goldberg? Because Kevin
Well,
Owens obviously has more of a move set than.
I don't think
That's
it's
why I
gonna be
think. That's why I
Goldberg,
think.
although I think Kevin Owens should watch out for any sidekicks that Goldberg decides to do.
Oh my God, he's not doing any sidekicks. I really think it might be. I would hate it, but I really think this could be another one where the intro could be longer than the match.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Unless unless
Mister
Kevin
126
Owens
himself.
unless Kevin Owens like rolls out of the ring, because I don't think Goldberg, even before when he was younger, he's never been good at selling anything, and
Nope.
that's the only thing that hurts people like Titus and even like Cass. A lot of these people don't know how to
Cass.
sell it yet,
Yep.
and that's the only reason Enzo right now is around because he can at least sell. Like his little butt depends on it.
Well, that's because
Um,
Enzo, is, and I don't like using this expression, but he's the hawk of the group.
Thinking that the other day, he
Like,
is the hawk of the group. Oh, the other guy,
yes.
the other guy. This is true, and I hate that, but he is. But he's also the mouthpiece. So Cass, they can't get rid of him yet.
Enzo's the second best person on the mic in WWE right now.
Agreed.
Granted,
And so,
his stuff is now lacking now, so he's probably falling down that ranking list.
right. I really think he needs to stop that Running Man too. I'm really getting
Oh
kind of tired
gosh.
now.
Oh gosh. I kind of hope that someone gives him a backstabber into a code breaker.
Oh yes, and then the coup de grace.
And then the coup de grace.
That's what I want to see on 205. If they do that, they'll have my vote. I'll
I'm
write a
just saying,
prescription every night if they do that.
if you put the name Cruiserweight in it, you're expecting flips. Granted, Neville is doing a heck of a job as champion.
He is.
A
I really
heck of
like
a
Rick.
job.
I like Rick Swan. I don't care what nobody say. I would become a fan of his. I think if they don't plateau him at 205, which is a terrible, terrible name, by the way.
Well, they just call it for the weight, which is
That's
just as
dumb.
bad. But
It's dumb. I mean, I mean, I hate to do it, but let's while I'm talking about this, let me look up one person's. Let's look at one person's weight here while I'm doing this. Let's see. One moment, people. I just want to look up this weight. Oh, if that's the case, technically, that's where we should put Xavier Woods. He should dominate that particular division. Put him in there. I mean, why not? It says 205.3. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how accurate that is, but might as well put him in there. Give him something to do besides playing that stupid instrument and talking about bootios that
Oh
apparently
my! Someone
will use
said
the
something
bathroom.
about Bootios that was not PG, and I probably shouldn't say, but it was too funny.
I mean, we have to
Oh,
say
it was King
Mon-
Ross,
and
and he
Monday.
mentioned yes, he mentioned how after Kofi Kingston won, New Day decided, and I quote, "put their Bootios in Bo Dallas's mouth."
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
No, folks, it's not how it sounds. It is not how it
Oh.
sounds at all.
I can't believe somebody tried that cereal. Honestly,
I really can't believe someone actually stomach that crap.
I can't believe it's real.
I still can't believe it's not butter.
Oh God, it doesn't even have. It's not like Kellogg's or anything like that. It's like I don't even know who makes it.
Oh my gosh.
But it would be nice to see him in that division. I really think it would help not only the division, but help him do
Help
something.
me! Help me!
Ninja, like real. Exactly. But I know we have to move on, though, sir. I know we have to move on. But yes, the more things change, the more things unfortunately stay the same.
Absolutely. Let's talk about a trade that happened in association, the National Basketball Association.
I was kind of a big fan of. I think Serge Ibaka, which I think the Magic. I think they got hosed with that trade with Oladipo in the beginning. It kind of didn't make any sense.
They
Like I
traded away
understood,
their top scorer. It's going to get hosed
right?
any way they look at it.
Yeah. It just wasn't a good idea. I thought that they should have pulled back on it, but I can understand they maybe felt like, hey, he might be able to come in and help them. But they already had several bigs there, and I think they benched Gordon to bring in Ibaka,
Yep.
and it was like, okay, why, why, and more,
Wise.
and more wise. Um, but Orlando traded Ibaka
Hmm.
to the Raptors. I'm not going to say Hawks
There
today.
you go.
To the Raptors for Terrence Ross and a first round pick, which I really think the Raptors, as it says here, shook up the Eastern Conference because with Ibaka and Valanciunas and the Lowry and DeRozan,
And DeRozan.
all, all they now really is not saying that the small forward that they have now isn't good, but they really need a small forward, and we're looking at somebody that can really compete and actually go for the Cavs with Ron.
And I'm actually excited about this. I want to see how they manage to mesh heading into the second half of the season. Obviously, they're another using air quotes another powerhouse in the East. Granted, the East is still completely weak because LeBron James. But I mean,
LeBron James,
oh
LeBron
gosh,
James,
oh
LeBron
gosh, oh
James.
gosh. But seriously though, I mean, I really can't see another team. I mean, Milwaukee, kind of
losing.
Jabari Parker again. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of rough. That was rough.
I mean,
Um,
maybe they might make a trade with the 76ers to get one of those big men. I would like
and I
that.
mean that's one thing is I do see that they're always looking at trading one of their bigs, either Nerlens Noel or Okafor, which honestly I don't even know because they're both a liability on one end of the floor or another. Obviously, no Nerlens
Just say Noel.
Noel.
Just say
Yeah,
Mr. Noel. There you go.
he's great. He's a good defender. Really athletic guy. Where I think Okafor is probably. I mean, he's not MVP, but he's always been a great offensive player.
Hmm.
I don't know how he is on the defensive end, but some teams really need something like that. I say if I was the next team that we're going to talk about, which is the Portland Trailblazers, I probably would have made a trade for one of them
Yep.
rather than the trade they did. Not saying that Joseph Nurkic is not good,
No.
but and I mean obviously they got a first round pick back, even though it's not Denver's first round pick. It's actually Memphis's first round pick. I didn't agree with them trading away Mason Plumlee. I thought he played some solid minutes for them.
Yeah, but they need to trade someone of value though. They just can't, trade away the 12th man on the team.
I mean he's not a starter, is he?
Nope. Exactly.
You bring in a starter though. Like Joseph Nurkic is a starter, isn't he?
He is a starter.
So now what do you do? What
I
do you
mean,
do
but he's
now?
a starter, but like he's not balling the way that organization thought that he would be balling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I see. I mean, I can see why they would do this. They need somebody to go ahead and bring in. Just looking at their team, I don't know. Portland still hasn't made that leap. I think them losing LaMarcus Aldridge, obviously they're trying to find his replacement, but they're not going to find that for a couple of years if they're really looking.
Yep.
And Denver, I just don't even know what they're doing. That's an NBA 2K franchise just really waiting for the right player, the right owner to come along and redo the team. Is they're just no good.
Well, speaking of no good. Well, actually, we didn't even touch on the Kevin Love injury. Let's look at
Right,
that real quick before we go to something that's probably gonna make me want to throw up.
right here, right now.
Probably not. Probably after.
Oh, I mean, you're getting Culver's. You said. I don't know. You want to throw up right after?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, that's gonna go down. Like, it's gone.
Well, Kevin Love is out. I was about to say Culver's is out, but Kevin
Culver's is
Love is
never
out.
out, my friend.
Kevin Love is out for 6 weeks. He needs arthroscopic knee surgery.
Yep.
Apparently, he had been playing on it for some time now. Tyrone Lue said, "Man, stop playing and go get it done, so we can have you back
For the playoffs.
for the
Which,
playoffs."
I mean, let's just be honest, and I'm gonna be real with everyone here. And I
Be
hate
real.
to
Be
be that
real.
guy. I hate to be that
Make
devil's
that
advocate.
make that Mike Ross guy proud on your shirt.
Oh yes, combos. I hit them. Resets. I got those. But Kevin Love can sit out until the Eastern Finals.
Tell him, Hawk.
Now, I know there's some Eastern Conference teams for the people listening tonight, and they might not be happy about what I said there. But look at it realistically. I'm a Knicks fan, ladies and gentlemen. So y'all could poke as much fun as possible, because I poke fun at my own team. Listen to the tapes.
Listen to the tape.
But the Eastern Conference is the man-child for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay? The Cleveland Cavaliers, to use FGT talk, handles the Eastern Conference free.
Free indeed. Free indeed.
Like, you gotta be kidding me. Don't sit there and say, well, what about my... No, not your team either. The LeBron Cavaliers, just like last year, will steamroll through the playoffs. They might lose a max 3 games until the Eastern Conference. Max.
Right.
And that's me being nice. That's me being nice. I'm still calling the fix for the Raptors series.
You are.
Because I felt like they did that just for ratings. Because, they would have had a longer rest period, which probably would have caused them to, maybe, probably, most likely, definitely lose to the Warriors. But that's not me being a LeBron-a-maniac hater. That's me looking at the stats and just going about it. Just reading what I see.
Right, absolutely. And I agree. I agree. I think
Kevin Love could legitly sit out until the Eastern Conference Finals because we know they're going to make it. I really don't see a team that's going to really challenge them.
Honestly, hopefully I have reads because, the doctor got those.
He does have those. He has them more than the professor, I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, I don't know about all that, sir. But I'm hoping that this particular move by the Toronto Raptors, which I wanted to say Hawks again so bad, that this gets them to the next level. And without Kevin Love, they go ahead and make it happen. But unfortunately, by the time they play, because I think they'll make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'll give it to them. I don't know if any other team is going to get there. I'm keeping my eye on the Greek Freak.
They're still my dark horse, but
yeah. I think it's Jason Kidd. I don't think he's that great of a coach. I think he's way overhyped.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Way overhyped.
Absolutely.
But having the Greek Freak is pretty sweet. We're gonna see what happens. We definitely see what happens.
But let's talk about the Big Apple struggle because
Well,
the current news that just happened in the James Dolan, Charles Oakley uh, measuring
well,
contest.
well. What I was gonna
For a
say
quick
earlier.
recap, Charles Oakley said stuff about James Dolan, about the way that he handled the Knicks. James
Sure.
Dolan, in reply, had him tossed out of a game recently.
Vince McMahon style.
And rather than doing it like a professional, he decided to have what 9 people, security personnel, and I believe a police officer as well too, to try to get Charles Oakley out of there, and
Right.
would, you know, any guy, any person being surrounded by that many people is going to feel like they need to do something. That's
Right.
just human nature.
Agreed.
Did he handle the situation wrong? We're talking about Charles Oakley? Absolutely not. But we know how Charles Oakley is. He doesn't back down. That's why the New York fan base loved him when he played with us. That's why, even when he went to Chicago, they liked him because he never backed down.
Right. And I'll say this. And I was going to say this earlier. I think this whole thing, and I hate conspiracy theories, of course.
Well,
But this
it's not
whole
really conspiracy
thing.
theory at the Base Among Friends. We do reads.
Uh-oh. But I think this whole thing was really to get the heat off of Melo.
I thought about that, actually.
Like the
I
whole
actually
thing.
thought
Like,
about that.
how quick it turned our attention away from Melo. The team starts winning. Oh, everybody. Oh, free Oakley. Like it was crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
Like it was so crazy. Melo no longer getting booed. Everybody's like, I mean, what a media
I'm
friendly.
still upset with the other Knicks fans about that. I would never, ever do that.
That was rough. I'm telling you, he was so sad that day.
I
could
was
see it in
sad
his
for
eyes.
him. Like,
Yeah.
before that happened, I was one of the biggest critic
Right, of course.
about it, thinking on a basketball business sense. But then after that, I'm like, no, you don't do that.
And how weird is it that they had to bring in Michael Jordan and Adam Silver to quote unquote let Charles Oakley? I was gonna say Barkley. I'm just falling.
Let Charles Oakley go. Apparently,
Free Oakley, free Oak, free the oak tree.
Gosh. Oh, there's the Amistad joke in there, but that's beneath me.
Give Oak free.
Oh, you lie! No. Chris, can we cut that out from the final stream, please?
Oh my god.
Please.
You shouldn't have said it. I'm exhausted and I can't hold anything back. No,
Black
but
History Month,
seriously,
man. What are you, crazy?
you said it, man. You shouldn't have said it.
Oh my! I said it was beneath me.
It's way
You're supposed
beneath
to
you,
say,
but I'm so tired. I'm
"Oh,
already down there.
I understand that. More power
But
to you. Let's just
skip
keep
over it.
on
No,
going.
no, my
Oh
friend.
my
Let's
gosh.
go right
But
to
the
it.
situation in the Big Apple is,
Sure.
blasphemous. It's
Mhm.
funny in a sad way.
Right, because he really could have punched somebody in the face.
Oh, it's about the whole Carmelo issue, but
And he could have punched somebody in the face too.
he could have definitely
Somebody
put someone
coulda-
in the face. Actually,
I'm
yes,
telling
you're
you,
right.
it could have been the palace all over again.
The
I
malice
promise.
at the palace. Oh no, not
Think
the
about it.
malice.
Imagine.
Which is
imagine
funny because
Charles-
I literally just got finished watching that yesterday, and I was just like, I can't believe these fans really acted this rowdy.
Imagine if Charles Oakley pushed one of those security guards into like a regular fan, and they're like, "Hey, you leave Charles alone," and all of a sudden,
Well, I mean, that's why they was in the rich seats and not, up
Right.
there in section
still.
205. Shout outs to the people up there.
oh my God, not 205 again. Oh
Well,
my
actually, I used to actually be at Madison Square Garden for wrestling
At
events.
205?
No, it wasn't 205. I think it was like 220 something,
That's better.
224 or something like
224 is better, not 205. Let's
that.
just
Oh my gosh.
shout out to Xavier Woods.
Oh no.
No, but yeah, I just think that it was a little too much, and it was too much for Carmelo too. So I'm hoping that they really get it together. But I really do think it was something to keep the eyes off of and kind of
I mean, it kind of worked. It also helped too that Knicks beat the San Antonio Spurs, which a lot of people didn't think it was going to happen. And we played defense, which is one of the things that I've always preached. So I was very happy with the results. And I
deep
watched that game from beginning to end. And I just enjoyed the way that they competed. We
defense will
have
be
a
good.
lot of great people on the team that we really don't need a Joakim Noah. And you heard me say this before.
Right.
Because Willie Herman Gomez, and I put this on Facebook, I said, Dear New York Knicks, please don't trade him, or Ron Baker, or KP. Don't do this to us. Again.
Speaking of trades, I think I mentioned it last week. I think if the Knicks were going to trade Carmelo, the one team that I would trade him to would be the
The
New
Houston
York.
Rockets?
No, I was going to say New York, but that's wrong. The LA Lakers. I think that the Lakers would be a good team for Carmelo.
Okay.
The Knicks would get people back in return that could actually help them in the future. They can get rid of Derrick Rose and now have a go after a different small forward
That's true.
and be fine. I think that would be they would have a lot of money if they get rid of that guy and Derrick Rose. Melo and
Derrick
Rose
Rose.
is a lot of money, but I also saw that the Pistons were looking to trade Reggie Jackson or Andre Drummond. What do you think about that?
Reggie Jackson is because of his contract. Andre Drummond, I
He just
think
can't
he's
shoot free throws. That's it.
well. It's that, and plus he has a bad attitude at times too. Like he kind of has the Boogie Cousins
But
conundrum at times.
when you're losing, you need to have a bad attitude to get back to winning. But speaking of winning and losing, oh god, we need attitude. Attitude is what we need in the league. Speaking of winning and losing, let's go
Do
over. Yeah,
I
we
mean we
do.
really do?
We really, really do. But speaking of winning and losing, let's go over some of the scores from tonight's action. Let's see. So the San Antonio Spurs are playing the Orlando Magic. They're up 101 to
That's
71,
that's
which is
free.
which is probably because Greg Pop was like, "Oh, you want to lose to the Knicks? Oh, they're playing defense on you, huh? Okay, I'm making all y'all do suicides until your braids all fall out."
I mean, Pop was sitting there after the game like, I can't believe I told you I wanted some nasty, and not just gotten, fresh
Yeah.
and so clean. I want
Oh,
some nasty.
sorry, Miss Jackson.
Ooh.
Um, the Indiana Pacers are playing the Cavaliers. Currently, the Cavs are up 106 to 89.
Yeah, that's
The
free too.
76ers are playing the Boston Celtics. They're currently down 81 to 73.
Okay,
The
that's gonna be a
Dallas
good game.
Mavericks, your favorite player, Harrison Barnes, versus the Detroit Pistons. Currently, the Mavericks are losing 74 to 59. The
I can't believe you said
Milwaukee
that. I really can't
Bucks.
believe you said that. I'm like so mad over here. I feel so salty right now.
Guys, the Milwaukee Bucks facing off against the Brooklyn Nets. The Milwaukee Bucks are up 80 to 75.
That should
The
be free.
Hornets, yeah, that should be a good one. And the Nets are still looking to trade Brook Lopez, but it's like I don't even know what you're gonna get back for him at this point.
Not a whole lot because they're downplaying his value.
Right, right.
So
And then you
I'm
got the
like, hey James, you want to get back on the Knicks' good side? Don't sit there and put Latrell Sprewell and LJ right there on court side. Get Brooke
oh
freaking Lopez, trade Joakim Noah and Derrick Rose over there, and watch how happy we become. Shout
yeah, that
outs.
would be interesting.
I'm telling you right now, like the people like the Michael Rapports and the
Hmm.
the Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith, they'll praise this move.
That would be good.
I'm
That would be a
guaranteeing
good
this
one.
right now.
Yeah, that would be good. We're looking at the rest of the scores here. Let's see. The Hornets are beating the Raptors 68 to 55. The Pelicans are up 50 to 43. And the Miami Heat are, fortunately for them and unfortunately for me, beating my Houston Rockets 58 to 45. Some late
That's not
games, the
bad. They'll
Knicks.
come back.
Yeah, we're gonna rally. Late games, you got the Knicks facing the Thunder, Sacramento Kings facing the Warriors, and the Atlanta Hawks facing the Clippers. But speaking of Pelicans and Kings, I read a report this week from Bleacher Report. Shout out to Bleacher Report, always
Shout
giving
out
us
to
some
Bleacher
good
Report. They always hold it
info.
down for us.
They really do.
They always hold it down for us.
Anthony Davis has been playing on the Pelicans for a few years now. Um, the report said basically that the New Orleans Pelicans are letting them down. Not only the team and the coaches, but the managers and owners,
Yes.
including the owner who owns the New Orleans Saints. And the problem is that there's a lot of promise, of course, having Anthony Davis, but not having the surrounding
The
cast.
talent to help you out for it means
Right.
nothing.
So we titled this segment "The Big Letdowns,"
Shout out to The
where
Big Short, which was a great movie.
where teams have these great stars, these great people who are on their way to superstardom,
Yes.
but they just don't have the overall talent around them to win. Really, like Kevin Garnett after Marbury left. Once
And
Marbury left, that was it. It was Marbury, Wally Zerbiak, Kevin Garnett. We were
wow.
good.
Shout outs to Wally's World. Shout
Yeah.
outs to Bruce Bowen for teaching me how to do a flying cross kick.
Oh my god. But ultimately, these teams need to be surrounded by talent. They need to be upgraded. They really, really need to have. They need to do something before he decides to leave. And I think that's one thing that they really have to keep in mind. Now, Anthony Davis is a great talent. The only thing about it is the more effort he puts in, the more opportunities he has to get hurt. And when he gets hurt, really the joke is on the New Orleans Pelicans because they won't have anyone. And we can only hope that he doesn't get into one of those career ending situations. Or we can only hope that he doesn't start demanding to get let go from the Pelicans for a trade where we'll probably see a ridiculous Boston Celtics Minnesota Timberwolves trade of him getting sent over for a team's whole roster. But I think that Anthony Davis is a great player. I just hate the fact that some of these guys sign these contracts and hope that a team will fill the roster with great talent, and then they don't.
I
So
mean,
it's Anthony Davis.
isn't that
The
what
three for
led
this
to
though.
LeBron, taking his talents to South Beach?
No, no. LeBron was selfish. That's why we don't really feel him. He was selfish because they put people around LeBron that
They averaged
he
60 wins a season.
they were fine. He just wanted to sow his royal oats and go off to Miami where the weather's nice. It's no taxes, all other crap that they always sell
Yep.
on teams. Play with his friends and not win one, but two, three, four, all other crap. They had a great team. He had some good role players. They were pretty good. But we're talking about the Pelicans, the Kings, and I mean let's look at it. It's like what are they doing for Boogie Cousins
And right
there?
now, I mean, the OKC Thunder, if you want to be more technical.
Right. Well, see, the Thunder are kind of in that where LeBron's teams were. They have some pretty
I
solid
mean,
talent. They are
okay,
still better,
I
actually.
actually will agree with you with that because if they played in the East, they'll be the one seed battling against
Right.
LeBron. So
Right. If they were in the East,
I
oh,
completely agree with you with
forget it.
that.
Forget it if they were in the East. Are you kidding
Forget
me?
about it.
Oh, but they're in the West.
Yeah. Which, I
uh,
mean, the way things are looking to pan out, that'd be a first round matchup against the Warriors, which I think might be absolutely exciting. It could go 6 games.
I think it'll. I don't know. Russell just doesn't have enough. Oladipo was a great pick, but
But he's not a solid 2.
mm-mm. And then they still have that Andre guy. At least they got rid of
Oh,
Dion
Andre
Waiters.
Roberson?
Yeah, at least they got rid of Dion Waiters. He was just no good.
Yo!
He was no good. He was no good at all. No good. I'm happy he's having a little success in Miami, but
I'm not.
he was no good. He was the Aaron Afwalo of the
Oh
Thunder.
my gosh! I'm mad that you went there. I'm not mad
Hey,
that you went there at all.
hey, try the old guy. Young guys are faster, they're stronger,
Stronger,
and
and
hey,
hey, they could actually shoot a 3-pointer.
they can actually and shoot a fadeaway.
My gosh.
But yeah, I think that it's really those two teams. Don't shake your head there, sir. Don't shake your head there.
I'm about to
Those
tell
two
Chris to cut the
teams.
show right now. Like, oh
Oh,
my god.
God. No, but the Kings and the Pelicans, I just feel like they're just not doing enough. And sometimes it's not about free agency. It's more about the draft and just making quality decisions.
Making
You know,
quality decisions. That's
and
pretty much the crux of everything. Is making
yeah, it's like
quality decisions, looking at what is the best thing for business, and not thinking about how much money can I make in my pocket. Because certain owners are like that. Not
and I
just in
would
the
say
NBA. It definitely transcends all four major sports.
and I would say that the last team that always stays on my radar would be the Indiana Pacers with Paul George. I feel like they were great at one point, and all of a sudden, people started declining. I mean, I know Roy Hibbert started going down,
But
but
he went down fast. He didn't just go
yeah,
down. He went down fast.
it was like I don't even know how to
It was a
explain it.
liquidation sale of his talent.
It was
It
like
was, it was it was like the Monstars came and took his
right.
talent and then booted it off the Hoover Dam.
So he's living a life of Space Jam.
He's living the life of Space Jam, but it's in reality. There's no
Oh
way for him to
God,
get that talent back.
there's
It's
no way
gone.
for him to get that talent back. He'll probably have to go to the Knicks to get better. It's okay.
It was like Tweety.
Oh, I
And when
need
and when
to
they
go.
and when they hit Tweety off the tee,
Yes. Oh God.
actually that
Yeah.
was probably my favorite part of the whole movie. I mean,
Yeah, that was
granted, I
pretty
am I
good.
am the worst person to be watching movies with, so
That was pretty
everything
good.
everything turns into a comedy. Everyone got a prize.
But they did bring in Miles Turner, which is a great draft pick. They brought
Yep.
in Monte Ellis and a few other players. I just feel like they're gonna probably wind up trading him. It's gonna be some major trade with like Paul George, Carmelo. Like it's gonna be something crazy. Somebody's gonna get screwed over, but
I
you
thought they were
know,
gonna try to do that in Chicago with Jimmy Butler for Melo.
I don't think the Bulls would do that. But they're giving us somebody younger. I don't know. You would have to hit me with that. I'm sorry or something.
I'm sorry. They could definitely do that because then they're also gonna try to get rid of Rondo.
The Knicks want Rondo.
Not really. I mean, he could be a
Oh,
bench
okay.
player maybe. Maybe we
Yeah, but
can waive him, but then he can go play with the LeBron Maniacs. Because, that's what people do when they get waived. They just go play for Cleveland.
I don't know
Or
if him and
Miami when he
LeBron.
was there.
I think.
I'm talking to you, Richard Jefferson.
Ooh, I think LeBron and Rondo would hate each other, but respect each other so much. Not respect, but respect each other so
I
much.
think LeBron would be just happy the fact that he doesn't have to play,
Point forward.
43 minutes of
Uh-huh.
basketball without having to bring up the ball and everything like that. Which, I mean, his comment was fair, but then it was foul because Kyrie should be. Oh my goodness, technical
I
foul.
just hit. I just hit a technical foul on LeBron.
Oh my goodness. Wait, what's the tech for?
For his comments and
Okay.
the whole thing going on with Barkley, that was
I was
so
like,
ridiculous.
you can't be Joey Crawford and just start handing out tees without reason.
You get one now, sir.
Who, me? I don't get a
Oh
tee.
yeah, you.
I
Oh yeah.
tee you. No.
No, no,
No.
no. You got it. And if I was Chris, I would mute you right now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god.
But seriously though, it is a technical foul for LeBron to sit there and whine about it. I
Mhm.
was in agreement with Charles Barkley about it. We are into it, but to quote another great man who just won a title, he wants the whole world in his hands. It's not a matter of competing or not, it's a matter of him wanting to be able to rest. And
And
being able to
that's
rest good enough so once it comes down to facing off against the Warriors, you don't have to worry about it. It's not going to be that bad. But until then, he's what
But
first,
but
second in the league in minutes played. By the time it hits the
he's a
finals, he's gonna be exhausted again.
he's a player. You know what I mean? He's not the coach. He's not the
I don't know
GM.
why. I just thought of Ray Lewis when you said that. He's
Oh
a
God.
man. He can play.
But it's like, come on, dude. Just play the game.
Just play the game. Just play the game. Like you're the one who wanted to put yourself in this situation. You know, you're the one who wanted these people. You're the reason why the Cavaliers is over the luxury tax by a lot. The fifth highest over the luxury tax in NBA history.
Mm-hmm.
Like you did this to you.
True. True.
You have no one else to blame but yourself. I don't know why. I just had a Floji-san moment. Shout out to Floji-san. He was talking about Perfect Legend.
Excellent.
like LeBron, like we're not cool, and I might shake your hand when I come see you, whatever. But you cracked yourself up.
Yeah, you did.
Like eventually,
Yeah, you did.
you know, maybe 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you know, they're gonna be saying LeBron's a legend. I'm gonna be like, there is no legend, only myths.
Mm. Mm. But then you take out all the actual legends.
Exactly.
That's
Like
that's
when you think back to it, yes, LeBron has more playoff victories over Jordan. Yes, LeBron played more minutes. Yes, LeBron has more points. But I believe someone so eloquently stated, Jordan didn't need to play those many games.
Yeah.
He got the job done fast, quickly, efficient, with a killer instinct. And
Yeah.
I know there's been always back and forth argument about whether or not the competition is better now or better back then. But I don't see the same kind of defense. And I know someone mentioned it on their Facebook post, you know, talking about how it was jailhouse ball back in the day.
But it was
But
better.
it was much better. Like, you don't have point guards dunking on 7-footers. You know, you don't have point guards basically posting up big men.
True.
You know,
True.
you don't have centers, all centers, shooting 6 threes in a game. Like,
Yeah.
the games became so 3-point dependent, and no one really plays defense. That's why the scores go into the hundreds all the time. Back in the day, you'd be lucky if you can go up to 100 by itself. It might hit 80. That's usually
True.
around the average. Because
This
the
is
defense
true.
was there. Nowadays, if a game goes into, you know, ends at a 70 point for the person who wins, or maybe 80 point, that's because everyone stinks at shooting.
Right. Except for that Knicks game yesterday. It probably was serious defense.
It was serious defense, actually.
Yeah. It probably
And that's
was,
not
yeah.
me just looking at it as a homer. I actually looked at it as an analyst first, and then I'll be a
Right.
homer afterwards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't have
But-
it any other way.
We're getting low on time, sir. Let's do our final thoughts, because the people want to know what the doctor has to say.
Well, my final thoughts here. Of course, I want to give a shout out to my man Mitch at I Love Cakeboxing. Definitely look forward to working with them. They're actually opening here in Raleigh. I think I Love Boxing, I believe, is a national program, so I definitely look forward to working with them. Also, shout out to Four Eyes one more time, of course, for allowing us on the show. Great opportunity. But my last comment came up as we were doing the show here, and I just wanted to get your quick response on this.
Oh boy.
Vince Young is seeking an NFL return. Why, sir? Why?
I'm highly interested about this. I think he might want to pull out a Michael Vick and try to have that last gas redemption story.
But
I mean, he was very high on Vince, though.
I mean, he was a great player. I mean, a great player
I mean,
in Texas, in Tennessee. Great, all around great. Again, somebody who just didn't have
maybe the Cowboys would pick him up as a backup.
All right, Chris, that's
Oh,
it. All right,
oh man.
Chris.
I don't know
Obviously,
what
you're
that
sleepy.
was. Oh,
Obviously, you're sleepy.
oh man. Obviously, I'm just craving that
I can't
Culver's
believe
right
you.
now.
Can't believe you said Cowboys.
Well, because they're going to trade Tony Romo to the Broncos. It's just what they're going to pay for it.
Well, I hate the fact that they released that. Well, I don't know if how accurate it was, but I hate reports that suggest that he may be released if they can't get a good trade for him. I hate those reports.
Well,
I hate them.
I kind of
All
think that's going to
sports.
be BS.
All sports. I hate them.
I feel like that might turn out to be BS, but that goes without saying. We still have a long time until football comes back, so we'll have time to talk about it as we go along. But my final thoughts. I'm gonna give a shout out to Twitter. First of all, follow myself and the doctor at Ken86 for myself, at TL Double for him. But shout outs to Twitter. A long line of conversations between two people for the FGC was happening the other day, and it was actually quite hilarious. For those that don't know, Mortal Kombat is a pretty outstanding game, and the newest one is highly interactive and fun and great, and it's not going to be at Evo because Marvel lives! But
Hilarious.
the current reigning, defending, fighting Evo champion, Sonic Fox, was called out on Twitter again by another person named Perfect Legend. And the reason why this is so interesting, why this could be my shout out, is they kind of already had a moment last year where this Perfect Legend person, who is sponsored by the way, did the same thing, and a challenge was made for $100 in a money match. Money matches are where people who have a grudge against each other, they play each other online. Well, not online, at a actual tournament. First to 10, so the first person to get 10 victories is the winner. Sonic Fox beat Perfect Legend free. It was 10.
Free indeed.
He only had a couple of rounds. He never won a match. So afterwards, Perfect Legend got on the mic and started talking more smack, and they did a best of 5. Well, best of 3. Sonic Fox beat him free again. So he was forever known as Perfect Legend, and all over the Twitter sphere they put they spelled legend with 1-3 as the L and the E.
Ooh.
The reason I mention this is now Perfect Legend once again is calling out Sonic Fox, saying that he's free, he's challenging him to a game, blah blah blah, and it might actually happen at Combo Breaker this year. It's gonna be coming up in May.
But I told you why everybody has this new confidence to call out my man. Don't let me put on the hat, Sonic Fox.
I mean, I'm just saying you're really high on Sonic Fox to the fact that you
I
said
mean, he's
that
a young kid.
you want to be just like him, and you want to call yourself Sonic Fox Jr. I mean, the ego on you.
My thing is, it's like people are just so confident because Mortal Kombat's not at Evo. It's not,
It's not. It's
So of
not.
course,
In fact,
but
it wasn't top 2 at all as far as that voting.
not at all. Not at all.
Shout outs to the Pokken and the Marvel community. Like, they really held it down. But that was my final thoughts. I just want to give a shout out to that because I can't wait to watch that on stream. That's going to be fun. They're not going to play on Mortal Kombat. They're going to play on the newest Injustice game that's going to be coming out soon.
Which I may be playing on too. I might be right there with them. So I guess I should just get in on the trash talk right now.
I think you should. But
yeah.
We're going to leave you with a pretty good track. I mean, we always leave with great. This is pretty good. This is from an artist named Epic Lloyd. I don't know if you know who he is, but if you're familiar with the Epic Rap Battles of History series, he is one of the main people for that show. This is from his album Here, and the title is Goodbye. We put the link in this video. And once again, thank you very much for tuning in this evening. I am the Professor John Gotti.
And this is the Dr. Wednesday Night.
And we'll catch you again next week, ladies and gentlemen. Steve, let's finish. Peace and love.
Roll the credits.
Ladies and gentlemen, it appears that we have ourselves audio issues, so we'll be unable to play the track for tonight. But we did put the link out to it in the video, so definitely check it out. It's a great song, and we apologize here at Debates Among Friends for this faux pas on our part, and we'll be sure to have a nice long talk with Steve after the show. Thank you very much. Have a great night. Peace and love.